Movement, rhythm, and conversations with Tafari. Unchain your mind, let your spirit be free.
Welcome to Movement, Rhythm, and Conversation, the show where we delve into the profound impact of religion, spark provoking conversation, explore the world through an open-minded perspective. I'm your host, Tafari, here to bring you engaging discussions, eye-opening stories, and conversation that pulls no punches. Whether it's faith, culture, creativity, or real-life experience, we keep it raw, honest, and unfiltered.
Build black banks on black land, pass down wealth like a real inheritance plan. No more praying for what we can create, no more waiting on systems designed to dominate. Teach our daughters how to own their worth, teach our sons they are gods on this earth. Not just that.
Yeah, this is more than a brand. This is a movement. Healthy Hustle Society.
This episode of Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations with Tafari is proudly supported by Healthy Hustle Society. Healthy Hustle Society is a movement dedicated to helping men and families take control of their health, wellness, and financial future. Because real success isn't just about money. It's about having the energy, strength, and discipline to enjoy the life you're building. Through clean wellness products, practical health solutions, and opportunities to create additional income, Healthy Hustle Society is helping people upgrade their bodies, their mindset, and their bank accounts. If you believe that a strong body builds a strong mind, and a strong mind builds generational wealth, then you're already aligned with the Healthy Hustle mindset. To learn more about how you can improve your health and create new income streams, connect with the Healthy Hustle Society community today. Healthy Hustle Society, where health, discipline, and wealth move together. And now, let's get into today's episode.
No shortcuts here, just hustle and vision. Healthy living mixed with financial precision. Because the real success we're all chasing today is having the strength to...
Ready to upgrade your health, mindset, and income? Connect with Healthy Hustle Society today. Email healthyhustlecociety@gmail.com or call 47-0406-1089 to learn how you can join the movement. Healthy Hustle Society, where health and wealth move together.
Peace and power, family. Before we get started, please take a moment to do something important. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode of Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations with Tafari. Every click, share, and subscriptions help push this movement forward, spreading knowledge, rhythm, and power into our community. Let's rise together. Now, let's get into today's conversation.
We were raised on broken stories, pages so...
Welcome to Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations. I'm your host, Tafari. Today, we're stepping into a conversation that many people avoid, but one that deserves honesty, maturity, and historical awareness. The topic is Africans of the continent versus Black Americans. Now, before anyone becomes defensive, understand this discussion is not about attacking African people or separating ourselves from our ancestral roots. This is about examining the relationship between two groups of people who share the same bloodline but have lived through very different historical realities. Black Americans was forged through centuries of slavery, segregation, and systemic struggles inside the United States. Many of the rights and opportunities that exist in this country today came through the sacrifice, protests, and resistance of Black Americans who forced their nation to confront its contradictions. At the same time, many Africans who migrate to America arrive with their own experience shaped by colonial history, different political systems, and different cultural perspectives. When those two worlds meet, there is sometimes unity, and sometimes misunderstanding. So the real question becomes, are Africans and Black Americans allies in the struggle for global Black advancement, or have historical differences created a gap between us? Today we explore the tension, the misconceptions, colonial influence, and opportunities for unity, because the truth is simple. Systems of power benefit when people of African descent see each other as competitors instead of collaborators. This is not about division. This is about clarity. Africans of Africa versus Black Americans. Let's get into it.
And we're home.
The historical separation. One of the most misunderstood aspects within the global Black community is the relationship between Black Americans and Africans from the continent. We share ancestry, skin color, historical roots, yet our lived experience are shaped by very different histories. Black Americans were molded by centuries of slavery, segregation, systemic racism in the United States, whereas Africans grew up in post-colonial nations influenced by European power, but with distinct social structures. Because of these different histories, our expectations of one another are often out of sync. Let's explore the question of liberation. A question that warrants honest discussion is whether Africans who immigrate to America can help in the liberation of Black Americans, or whether they are simply seeking personal advancements within the same system that Black America have struggled against for generations. Immigration is often motivated by opportunities, and America is frequently viewed as a land of economic mobility. However, liberation is a collective effort. So, the key question is, when Africans arrive, do they see themselves as partners in the broader Black struggle, or as individuals trying to navigate a system they did not create? Different relationship with the system. Black Americans have historically had a confrontational relationship with American institutions because those institutions were built while excluding them. Civil rights movements, labor struggles, and legal battles were fought largely by Black Americans. Many immigrants from Africa arrived later, encountering a system already shaped by those struggles. Because of that, they may view the system differently, as a place of opportunity rather than oppression. That difference in perspective can create tension. So let's talk about the colonial influence on the continent of Africa. At the same time, the African continent bears the scars of colonization. European power redefined economics, language, education, and political systems across Africa. Even after independence, many of those colonial structures persisted. As a result, some Africans grow up within systems that still prioritize European standards or success as legitimacy. When people raised in those systems migrate to the United States, these viewpoints can sometimes follow them. This is a conversation worth having. Misunderstanding between communities. Unfortunately, misunderstanding often develop between Africans and Black Americans. Some Africans come with stereotypes about Black Americans shaped by media portrayals. Some Black Americans see Africans as disconnected from the historical struggle here. These assumptions can create barriers where there should be dialogue. In reality, both groups have incomplete understanding of each other's experience. So we have the question of opportunity. It is also important to recognize that many of the rights and opportunities immigrants have in the United States stems from civil rights victories fought for by Black Americans. Anti-discrimination laws, voting rights, protection, and workplace safeguards were achieved through decades of activism and sacrifice. These changes did not only benefit one group, they transformed society as a whole and opened doors for many who arrived later.
Yeah. This is more than a brand. This is a movement. Healthy Hustle Society.
This episode of Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations with Tafari is proudly supported by Healthy Hustle Society. Healthy Hustle Society is a movement dedicated to helping men and families take control of their health, wellness, and financial future. Because real success isn't just about money. It's about having the energy, strength, and discipline to enjoy the life you're building. Through clean wellness products, practical health solutions, and opportunities to create additional income, Healthy Hustle Society is helping people upgrade their bodies, their mindset, and their bank accounts. If you believe that a strong body builds a strong mind, and a strong mind builds generational wealth, then you're already aligned with the Healthy Hustle mindset. To learn more about how you can improve your health and create new income streams, connect with the Healthy Hustle Society community today. Healthy Hustle Society, where health, discipline, and wealth move together. And now, let's get into today's episode.
No shortcuts here, just hustle and vision. Healthy living mixed with financial precision. Because the real success we're all chasing today is having the strength to...
Ready to upgrade your health, mindset, and income? Connect with Healthy Hustle Society today. Email healthyhustlesociety@gmail.com or call 47-0406-1089 to learn how you can join the movement. Healthy Hustle Society, where health and wealth move together.
Let's dive into the risks of division. However, the real danger arises when these differences turn into divisions. Historically, power structures have often benefited when marginalized communities compete instead of working together. If Africans and African Americans see each other as rivals rather than allies, the larger system that maintains inequality stays in place. Division weakens collective influences. American Black people and Africans shares roots, just a different journey. Despite these differences, the deeper truth remains. Africans and Black Americans shared ancestral roots and cultural ties that go back centuries. Music, language, spiritual traditions, and cultural expressions reveal the echo of that shared origin. Though our paths have been different, the connection still exists. Recognizing that bond can lay the groundwork for dialogue instead of conflict. Moving towards collaboration. If real progress is to happen, both groups need to move beyond assumptions. Africans who immigrate to America can learn about the history of struggle that reshaped this country. African Americans can also engage more deeply with the continent, modern reality, and the complexity of African society. Mutual respect and awareness can turn differences into strength. Imagine if the American Black people and Africans had a unified vision. Ultimately, the question should not be whether African hinders or help Black Americans. The most important question is whether Black people of African descent worldwide can recognize their shared interests and collaborate towards economic empowerment, political influence, and culture self-determination. Division benefits systems of power that prefer fragmentation. Unity, even when it involves challenging conversations, opens the doors to a larger vision of collective progress.
Movement, rhythm, and conversations with Tafari. Unchain your mind, let your spirit be free.
As we close this conversation, one thing should be clear. The relationship between Africans from the continent and Black Americans is complex, shaped by history, migration, colonial influence, and different lived realities. But complexity does not have to mean division. Africans and Black Americans share something deeper than geography. We share ancestry, culture, echoes, and global experience shaped by colonialism and racial hierarchy. The challenge is that our histories have taken different paths, and sometimes those paths create misunderstandings about identity, struggle, and opportunities. Black Americans have played a central role in transforming the political and social landscape of the United States, opening doors that many immigrants now walk through. At the same time, Africans bring perspective, culture, and histories that extend far beyond the American experience. The real question is not who struggled more or who deserves more recognition. The real question is whether people of African descent can recognize their shared power in a world where unity has often been discouraged. Because division favors systems that want us to be divided. But corporation awareness, mutual respect can create something much bigger. A global Black consciousness that understands both the pain of the past and the possibility of the future. So the challenge moving forward is simple. Learn from each other, respect each other's history, and remember that liberation is always stronger when it's collective. This is Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations. I'm your host, Tafari. Unchain your mind, reclaim your soul, and let's continue the conversation. Most importantly, stay Black. Peace.
Build Black banks, own Black land, pass down wealth like a real inheritance plan. No more praying for what we can create. No more waiting on systems designed to dominate. Teach our daughters how to own their worth. Teach our sons they are gods on this earth.
If today's conversation spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share with the family, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification so you never miss an episode of Movement, Rhythm, and Conversation with Tafari. Together we rise. Unchain your mind, reclaim your soul.